Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about something we all know too well, something we've all experienced, yet something we often fear: mistakes. We live in a world that worships perfection, a world that celebrates success, achievement, and glory. We scroll through social media feeds filled with curated lives, polished victories, and smiling faces. We read about billionaires, champions, and geniuses, and we admire their successes, but we rarely hear the full story. We rarely hear about the sleepless nights, the failed attempts, the breakdowns, and the rejections. We don't hear about the times they were told you're not good enough. And even when we do, we brush past them like footnotes on the road to greatness. But let me remind you of something powerful today. Every success story is written with ink of failure. Every champion once fell. Every masterpiece once looked like a mess. Mistakes are not the opposite of success, they are the stepping stones toward it. Mistakes are human. To err is human. To make mistakes is not a flaw in our design, it's part of what makes us human. It's how we grow. It's how we learn. It's how we become stronger, wiser, and better. Think back to your childhood. Do you remember how you learned to walk? You fell over and over again. You wobbled, you stumbled, you cried, but you got back up. No one told you to give up. No one said, maybe walking isn't for you. Instead, the people around you clapped. They smiled. They encouraged you to try again. So what changed? As we grow older, society teaches us to fear failure. We start to equate mistakes with shame. We become afraid to take risks, to try new things, to put ourselves out there, all because we're terrified of getting it wrong. But let me ask you this: if you never fall, how will you ever learn to fly? Behind every mistake lies a lesson. Mistakes are not the end of the road. They are not evidence of weakness. They are opportunities, powerful, painful, sometimes brutal opportunities to learn. When you make a mistake, your brain is activated. It lights up. It takes notice. It starts asking questions. What happened? Why did it happen? What can I do differently next time? That process, reflection, adjustment, improvement, is the very definition of growth. Thomas Edison once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." When asked how it felt to fail so many times before inventing the light bulb, he smiled and replied, "I didn't fail. Each time was a step toward the solution." Edison didn't see mistakes as setbacks. He saw them as signposts. Every wrong turn brought him closer to the right one. The cost of playing safe. We live in a society that rewards results and punishes errors. So we play it safe. We avoid risk. We stay in our comfort zones. We stick to what we know, and in doing so, we deny ourselves the chance to grow. But comfort never created greatness. Growth begins at the edge of your comfort zone. It begins when you try something you've never done before. When you risk embarrassment, when you risk failure. Yes, you might fall. Yes, you might get it wrong. Yes, people might laugh or criticize. But that is the price of greatness. That is the price of becoming more than you were yesterday. Turning pain into power. Let's talk about pain for a moment, because mistakes often hurt. They sting, they leave scars, but pain, when harnessed, becomes power. Think of every heartbreak you've endured, every rejection, every failure, every moment when you felt like you weren't enough. Now think of where you are today, how far you've come since then. You are stronger because of what you've survived. You are wiser because of what you've been through. You are more resilient because of the mistakes you've made and the lessons they've taught you. You see, strength isn't built during easy times. It's forged in fire. It's born from struggle. It grows in the soil of failure. Mistakes are not who you are. Here's something I need you to understand. You are not your mistakes. Too often, we attach our identity to our failures. We say, "I failed, so I must be a failure." But failure is an event, not a person. Making a mistake doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're trying. It means you're human. You are not defined by the times you've fallen, but by how many times you've gotten back up. Reframing mistakes. A new perspective. What if we stopped seeing mistakes as something to avoid and started seeing them as necessary steps on the path to mastery? What if we stopped hiding our failures and started sharing them openly, honestly, without shame? Imagine a world where we taught our children to embrace mistakes, where we told them it's okay to get it wrong, just make sure you learn from it. Imagine what kind of fearless, innovative thinkers they would become. We must normalize the struggle, celebrate the effort, applaud the resilience, because the truth is, those who are willing to fail are the ones who ultimately succeed. Stories of triumph over mistakes. Let's remember some names. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. K. Rowling was rejected by multiple publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. These people were not born successful. They faced rejection, humiliation, and failure, but they learned from it. They kept going, and the world is better because they did. So the next time you feel like giving up, remember, your story isn't over yet. This chapter may be hard, but it's not the end. How to learn from mistakes. Now let me offer you some tools, because it's not enough to simply make mistakes. We must learn from them. Here's how. 1. Own it. Don't make excuses. Don't blame others. Take full responsibility. 2. Reflect. Ask yourself, what went wrong? Why? What can I do differently? 3. Extract the lesson. Every mistake has a message. Listen to it. 4. Apply the lesson. Don't just reflect, change your behavior. 5. Forgive yourself. You are not perfect, and that's okay. Give yourself grace. 6. Try again. Don't stop. Don't let one mistake define you. You are still becoming, my friends. We are all works in progress. We are all becoming, and the path to becoming anything great is littered with missteps, wrong turns, and setbacks. But those aren't signs that you're failing. They're signs that you're trying, that you're alive, that you're brave enough to risk falling in pursuit of rising. So today, I want you to stop being afraid of mistakes. I want you to embrace them, learn from them, grow through them, because on the other side of your greatest mistake might just be your greatest breakthrough. The final message, let me leave you with this. The strongest people you know are not the ones who never fell. They are the ones who fell 1,000 times and rose 1,001. So fall, learn, rise, repeat, and one day you will look back not with regret, but with gratitude, because the very things that once brought you to your knees will be the reason you now stand tall.